Hey, teacups. It's your girl, Monica. Welcome back to the All About the Tea channel. Joining me tonight are Teacup affiliates, Schoolboy. Hey, Schoolboy.
Hey.
Plez.
Hey.
That lipstick, girl. I love that lipstick.
Thank you. Happy MLK Day to you all.
Yes. Happy MLK Day. Yes. And the Bishop in the building. Hey, Bishop.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Very white.
Bishop. I mean, we need that godly white up in here tonight, y'all. Okay. And also joining us is fellow YouTuber and my friend Up and Adam.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
Adam?
Hey.
Monica, your voice is so soothing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, y'all, we got a full house tonight. These teacups are not playing around. They want to know what the tea is. First and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I need you to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that subscribe button. And if you're subscribed to the channel, I want you to bang that notification bell. And while you're at it, hit that like button. We need those likes, y'all. They help us out a lot. All right, teacups. On the agenda tonight, are y'all ready? Is an exclusive classified tea directly from the Real Housewives of Orange County reunion. What went down at that reunion is shocking and downright criminal. Let's get into it.
A website called All About the Tea.
It's told all about the tea that during the fight.
All right, before I start, I'm going to give y'all a few minutes to put the kids to bed, grab a glass of wine or a cup of tea, because I need your undivided attention for this report. I'm going to give you a few minutes, okay?
You have me in such suspense over here.
All right.
Oh, goodness gracious. This is a heavy one, y'all. Yikes. All right, let's see. Okay, let me see. Adam, you're getting some hearts. Shout out to the panel. All right, y'all ready? Kids in bed, you got your glass of wine, you got your cup of tea. Okay. All right. The two-part Real Housewives of Orange County reunion filmed a few weeks ago. Okay. Well, before I start, no, let me just jump into it. I'll just go ahead and jump into it. The two-part Real Housewives of Orange County reunion filmed a few weeks ago, and a disturbing incident involving Braunwyn and one of Shannon's daughters was exposed at this reunion. Now, before I continue, I need to make this disclaimer. All media outlets, this includes Instagram pages, bloggers on YouTube, bloggers and entertainment websites. This is an All About the Tea exclusive. If you re-report my content, all I ask is that you give me credit, All About the Tea credit. That's all. Thank you. So in the reunion trailer that was released by Bravo last week, we can see Bronwyn extremely distraught, right? And I have the exclusive details about what went down between Bronwyn and one of Shannon's daughters. Okay, y'all. Y'all ready for this? Is everyone sitting down? I need you to comment in the chat. Let me know if you're sitting down. If you're on blood pressure meds, go get your pressure pills. Keep them nearby, okay? Comment in the chat. Let me know if you're sitting down. I want to know before I start, okay? Yep, sitting down. All right. So what happened? Adam,
Got the seatbelt fastened.
I was about to say, you know how to put a whole group of people in suspense over here.
All right, y'all. So what happened was, okay, you guys ready, right? Braunwyn approached Shannon Beador's then 14-year-old daughter, Stella, and offered her drugs. The street term for this drug is nose candy, powdered donuts, or blow. We're not going to use the C word, but you get where I'm going with this, right? It's a C word. Bronwyn asked the 14-year-old if she wanted her dealer's number because she has the best drug dealer in town. My heart's racing. I'm going to pause right there. Schoolboy, sound off on this scalding hot, explosive tea that I just spilled.
She offered the little girl booger sugar? Like,
yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I mean,
14.
Like, this is not a secret that Bronwyn has issues. They've known this for a few seasons now. So the fact that Bravo has let this go as long as they have, this is like disturbing. Like, I mean, I just can't wrap my mind around like what would give you any idea to even do that or to even say that. That's still a child. Like, what, I mean, her mind must be just gone.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if you ever look at her really closely, it's kind of just dead behind the eyes to me. Adam, what are your thoughts on this scalding hot tea?
I'm just thinking in my head, if this is in fact true and this comes out this way, there's no way that Bravo can provide her a platform. They would have to take it away. You can't elicit any sort of substance to a minor. That doesn't fly, and Bravo is still a business, right? So all of these housewives or any of the Bravo celebrities, they're representatives of this business. So this just blows my mind, actually. I thought it was going to be something like, because we all saw the trailer, right? So I thought it was going to be maybe like she brushed her as she walked by or did something kind of silly. I was not expecting this.
I said shocking. I did say shocking. Plez, sound off. What are your thoughts on this disturbing and sick incident?
Well, the allegation is definitely disturbing. In the words of the late great Rick James, that C word is a hell of a drug, and Bronwyn must have been on a lot of it that night if she saw fit to offer her drug dealer's information to a minor. Like, that's crazy. She obviously could not have been thinking right and could not have been in her right and stable mind. That's beyond.
Beyond. I mean, Bishop, sound off. What are your thoughts?
Well, just to, think about my nieces and nephews, and if, oh my goodness, whoever the parent is, I'm surprised they ain't snatch your bald right now. Be honest with you. You know what I mean? That's a moment where I want the mama bear to snatch her completely bald, completely everything. I mean, demolish her.
Yeah.
A 14-year-old, really? And you are a person that's in the limelight as well. You think people was gonna find out about this?
Well, yeah, listen, I'm a mama bear, and I probably would have been kicked off that show because I would have effed her up.
Oh yeah.
I'd have drove over to her house, and when she came to the door, I'd have snatched her by her head, and it would have been on. They would have to call the police on me, even though she needs to have criminal charges on her behind. They would have been calling the police on me. My child, not my child.
That's the question I have: is why would Shannon, if this in fact did happen, why would Shannon not immediately go through with pressing charges? Would it be because it would jeopardize her position on the Housewives for pursuing legal against another housewife?
A lot of these housewives choose that show over their children.
They do.
So this shocking event that happens at the season 15 reunion leaves everyone's jaws on the floor because Shannon did not tell anyone on that cast, including Andy Cohen, none of her co-stars, what happened. And Bronwyn starts hysterically crying and screaming, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, screaming because she knows her goose is cooked. This is it. This is the end for her. Shannon confronts Bronwyn. This goes down at the end of part 1 of the reunion, and then it carries over to part 2. Okay. Woo Chile. I mean, this left me. I've been holding on to this for quite some time now, and it's deep on me. It feels like a relief now to let it out because I have children. And what if she had a problem? What if Stella hypothetically has a problem or had a problem, and she would have took this drug dealer's number? And
it's not even that too. Also, if there were to be, I mean, if you were hooking up a minor allegedly with this drug dealer, you don't even know, not just giving them a substance, but you don't know who that, like, what if that person were to take it way beyond just using a substance with that minor? What if they were to take advantage of a minor? Like this goes way beyond. I mean, that's huge, but that puts her daughter, if it is true, that puts her daughter in jeopardy in so many different ways.
So, for those that watch or don't watch, Bravo chronicled Braunwyn's alcoholism at the beginning of season 15. We all saw it. I don't really watch that show because of Kelly, but I see clips here and there. Bronwyn wrapped the season supposedly 6 months sober, but clearly alcohol is not her only issue. Clearly. Now here's some more tea. Shannon's ex and Stella's father, David Beador, is not aware of the shocking incident that occurred between his daughter, his minor child, and Braunwyn because he's not on friendly terms with Shannon. Now, according to my rock solid source, the person told me David doesn't know because he's not on speaking terms with Shannon. Okay, the rock solid source went on to say that when David does find out that Shannon saved this for the reunion, which she did, and did not go to the police, all hell's gonna break loose. Because that child needed to be questioned properly at that time by the authorities, because everything would be fresh in her mind. You know what I mean? Yes, teacups, this is a crime. Y'all know I don't sugarcoat anything. And the police needed to be called, and they were not. According to California laws, Braunwyn can be charged with offering drugs to a minor, providing drugs to a minor, the delinquency of a minor, where the actual charge is called contributing to the delinquency of a minor in California. Under California Penal Code 272, it is a crime to do something or to encourage or cause anyone under the age of 18 to become a habitual truant, juvenile delinquent, or dependent of the juvenile court system. This also includes failing to do something that encourages juvenile delinquency. Sound off, pledge. You are an attorney. You understand laws. Break it down for us.
Well, you just read all of the applicable California statutes. I'm not licensed in California, so I trust that your research and the things that you have listed as available charges are correct. In Louisiana, where I am licensed, it would be called contributing to the delinquency of a minor. It is against the law for an adult to procure alcohol, to procure drugs, to otherwise encourage children and minors to disobey the law themselves. And so no one is supposed to buy illicit drugs, but definitely not a 14-year-old. And by trying to entice her to use a drug and trying to supply her drug dealer's information, that's exactly what Braunwyn was trying to do. I don't think, again, if she's still, there probably still are some dependency issues in her life. Alcohol, we're taking her word that she's been sober, but maybe not. And a lot of people who are and who have addictive personalities or have struggled with addiction aren't just addicted to one substance. So it may be alcohol, but like you said, she may also have dependencies on other illicit substances and drugs. And a lot of people think when they use that they can be functional addicts. And so it didn't really affect them as much It may not stop her from working or otherwise being a mother, but clearly it's having some type of effect on her decision making. And because that just wasn't a wise thing to do. Shannon's husband should be livid. Because if this, at first when you said it, I thought it happened at the reunion. But if it's happened months ago, that definitely should have been reported. And to not report it means Shannon herself could very well face a charge of, covering that up. I don't know what the exact charge would be in California, but once a parent becomes aware of something like that, it is their duty to report it so that it's properly investigated. And it's not an adequate excuse that the ex-husband and wife aren't talking. That's why we got to get better, y'all, at co-parenting and making proper decisions. That's something her father should have known as soon as it happened, as soon as she found out about it.
Absolutely.
So that they both get their child help.
Mm-hmm. She
You
was
don't know if
14
she's
at the time. I mean, it happened
traumatized
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, you don't know if their daughter is traumatized. You don't know if that would have caused her to be curious about drugs or wanting to use them. It's a lot of things that could have happened from someone who I'm sure she looked up to or thought as her mother's friend, would want to do. That's just, ugh, it's a lot.
It is. It's heavy. Bishop, sound off. What are your thoughts on the daddy not knowing? And is it rightfully his right to flip out once he finds out?
Yeah, this is right to flip out. Where I come from, allegedly, I would get some hood ratchet chicks to come mop the mama and that woman with the floor. I'm serious about that.
Not the good rat chicks.
I mean, it's crazy because that's a child.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was my kid, that's my child. And you as a mother is not doing the right thing because you want your 15 minutes of fame so you can have the most explosive reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, especially the women around me they would have dog walked her around California.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, they would have. They'd have done a Louisiana, Texas style.
Mm-hmm. Now you don't play around with them Louisiana people.
Nah, they got a switchblade ready for you.
Oh, child, not the switchblade, Bishop.
Pull out that jaw.
Schoolboy, what are your thoughts on the daddy not knowing because the mama held the tea until the reunion?
Well, it wouldn't have been my kid, because if I'd have told my uncle that, God rest his soul, right now, he would have called somebody and trust and believe she wouldn't have had a home to live in, because they probably would have run around that joint and threw gasoline and lit it on fire. Somebody would have been hurt. And I probably would have went to jail, because if I'd have found out you illicitly tried to offer my child drugs, oh no, hell with Andy, that show, everybody on that cast, I would have fought everybody. They would have had to carry me up out of there in cuffs. And I would have said, hey, drop the bail off, because I'm gonna need to get out, because I would have whooped her ass from Kingdom Come to Amazing Grace. She would have known she went through me, and she probably would have got sober at the end of it. This is absolutely ridiculous. Andy Cohen needs his ass whooped as well for the fact that he has allowed these casts to get so out of pocket with the mess, between the social media mess, between the nose candy behind the scenes, people being alcoholics and everything else on these franchises. I mean, at least some of them had enough daggone sense that he would make them at least get off TV and go to rehab. I saw a picture of Bronwyn today, and I'm going to tell you, she was as flush pale as Casper the Ghost. Clearly, it's not just drinking that she's on. And kids need to be taken up out of the home as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam, your thoughts on David not knowing? Shannon saving the tea until the reunion to reveal it? Really?
I just have so many questions here. Like, for example, if this is 2 years old, and of course, I'm not questioning your source or anything, but if this allegedly happened, this is 2 years old. How long ago did Shannon find out? Or
I don't know when she found out, but it all comes out at the reunion. And we're just going to have to wait and see if she answers. It might turn into a criminal investigation. Who knows? Because I can't see her responding to anyone on Twitter about this. But it all comes out in the reunion. But keep in mind, when she was 14, they were filming, I think, last season 14. So maybe during filming is when it happened. And then COVID hit. So filming for season 15 was delayed. So, you know what I mean? In terms of years, 2 years sounds like a long time. But when it comes to Housewives filming, it really isn't that long ago.
But what would the motive be for her? Would the motive be instead of, I mean, this is what I'm trying to understand too. Would the motive for Shannon be as far as bringing it to the reunion and not just going to Bravo directly to have her taken off the show? Do you think she used or would have used this as a tactic to embarrass her as one last like, hurrah, you thought you were going to throw dirt on my name, but take this?
We don't know. Maybe Stella didn't tell her until right before the reunion. Who knows? I don't know when Stella actually told Shannon. So I guess we would need that timeline and all those details. Who knows? She could have told her like right before they filmed the season 15 reunion. Maybe she told her last year. Who knows?
But even then, a phone call to the dad, like,
right.
Guess what I just heard? I don't care how mad at you. You don't care for your child's father, whatever. That phone call would have been that would have been dialed immediately.
Absolutely. And I just want to say again, just a little disclaimer. I need to make this disclaimer. All media outlets, this includes Instagram pages, Twitter accounts, bloggers on YouTube, bloggers, and entertainment websites. If you re-report this content, please credit all about the tea. Thank you. Oh, this is very, very messy. Very, very messy and very heavy.
I said this is heavy.
It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. So in more exclusive reunion tea, okay, y'all ready for this? Kelly, Shannon, and Emily had a pact to go after Braunwyn, and they did it very viciously. I heard they were on her ass like white on rice, okay? Because apparently Braunwyn, before the season started, went on E! News and accused the entire cast of being racist and homophobic. So they really didn't like her, and they had it out for her. They were very, very upset. The rock solid source also shared with me that Bronwyn is an elitist, according to the source, and allegedly using Black Lives Matter to cover up her mother calling a Black man the N-word. Schoolboy, you seem to be familiar with that story. Are you familiar?
Yes, and she talked about Latino people as well in a post that I seen on Twitter that was retweeted, and she tried to cover it up. Yeah, her mother is very much so racist and has posted racist things and talk about their quote unquote, they said Mexican people, the only thing that they're good for is being helped. They called that man the N-word. I mean, it's just, and I mean, no offense, but Kelly Dodd got some daggone nerve to say anything about anybody being racist, because we all know about her too. I mean, it's just, I mean, Bravo got some really cleaning of the house to do, but Bronwyn's mother says all kinds of things online on her social media. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Now, just to divert a little bit and go back to that reunion, I was told that Emily bought a binder. You know, I guess everybody's following in Monique's footsteps now. Yeah, Emily bought a binder to the reunion, and apparently she started making this binder as soon as filming started. And the entire binder is dedicated to Braunwyn. Yes. Okay. And I was told a few things in the binder. I was told that Sean and Braunwyn allegedly lied about owning their house. They have tax liens and etc. Stuff like that, unpaid bills and all kinds of stuff that's in that binder. They also talked about Rowan, which is Braunwyn's daughter's eating disorder. Because I don't know if you guys know, Rowan went on YouTube, it's a now deleted video, and exposed her mother for mocking her eating disorder. I mean, that was in blogs too. That comes up. And it says here, all Kelly and Shannon and Emily, they had a pact, like I said, to go after Bronwyn viciously. Those two, those three got together, and that was their, agenda for the reunion is Bronwyn. I mean, rightfully so. I can't blame them. I really can't. Now, my question to the panel is, what's Bravo's next move? Can they possibly keep Bronwyn on that cast after this? Schoolboy, sound off.
No, they need to get rid of her. I mean, but Bravo's made questionable decisions in the past. So, I mean, who knows what they'll do. I mean, and this is no offense to anybody in the chat, but this is a white woman. It's different than what Monique went through, unfortunately. And it just perplexes me that you can let someone sit on your platform in which they have millions of people that sit here and follow these housewives, because you got people out here crazy as all get out on these social networks, just going off on people for these housewife people, and you don't even understand the reach that some of these people have. It's crazy. And that you are allowing these people to sit up here and they on illicit drugs and everything else just to get scenes for a reality show. It's absolutely disgusting and it's ridiculous. It's gotten to the point where I'm like halfway edge, not even wanting to watch reality TV, because the lengths that they go between the cast members not having any bottom and the people that's in the production companies not having any bottom to how low they'll go, and the executives not caring. I mean, you might as well just call it trash TV and just throw it on there and just let them do whatever.
I agree. Ples, your thoughts. What's their next move? Can they possibly keep Bronwyn after this is exposed?
Well, of course they possibly can. Should they? No. They shouldn't keep Kelly Dodd either. Half of the cast needs to go. But the reality is, Bravo is kind of having its own reconciliation and awakening, a micro form of what is going on in the bigger picture of America. Tamika Mallory told us to stand back and stand by with everything that was going on the last couple of weeks at the Capitol. And I would tell a lot of our minority and other alternative lifestyle or non-mainstream audience Bravo viewers to stand by as well. Let's let them tear each other apart, because that's what it seems from what you're describing. That seems like a gang up of people who want to show that she's just as racist as we are. That they're not saying she's different or better, because Bronwyn has been very vocal about things. So instead of them joining and growing up and trying to evolve, they just want to show how her and her family are the same way. And so that's on a viewer's level. There's nothing for us to do. We can write in and tell Bravo that what they should do, but it's now time for Bravo and their executives to come to grips with the monsters that they have created. Unfortunately, with the double speak that Andy has been doing, like with the Vanderpump kids, I don't necessarily see that happening. It seems like instead, since George Floyd and BLM, and since all of those things are not as current in the news right now, the massive change that we were promised this summer has kind of gone to the wayside. And instead, everybody is being very apologist and very, oh, well, where do we allow people to grow and learn? They can grow and learn at home off of our TV screens. They can get them some books from their local libraries and educate themselves and try to become better people, get some therapy or whatever. I don't really think that that's something we need to see publicly, because I don't honestly think it's genuine. I think they want to hold on to their beliefs and they want to loudly voice them. And so Bravo and NBC Universal has to make this change, this call and this stance, not us.
Absolutely. Right. Well, they definitely need to make the call, but will they make the call? I mean, they have a moral obligation at this point. This is a criminal act. It's criminal. Up and Adam, what are your thoughts?
You know, I just find it interesting because I agree with everybody in the sense that I don't really know where the line is anymore for this network. Like, I love Bravo, but just an example, back in June, I did an interview with Candace Diller Bassett, and it was before her homophobic tweets came out. And I was asking her what she felt about the VPR firings, and she, in the interview, which is still on my channel, was talking about how absolutely they should be held accountable. And like, they should be fired. They shouldn't have a platform, and she doesn't want to be on a platform with people who have racist tendencies. But then all of a sudden this came out about, you know, Candace and her tweets, and then she had the opportunity to apologize, and then it kind of got swept under the rug, right? But that just goes to show you what is the, like, what is okay and what's not okay. But then on top of that, this, like you guys are saying, if this actually did happen, then this is also criminal. This is now you're offering, this goes back to, if this allegedly happened, then you are offering a child a substance, an illegal substance. That's next level. Like, if Shannon's going to throw out an accusation like that, I really, really hope she can back it up, because this, just like when, wasn't it Vicky Gunvalson? I know that you said you don't watch it, but I think Vicky Gunvalson accused Kelly Dodd in one of the previous seasons of doing what Schoolboy likes to call the booger sugar.
Well,
So,
I watched when Vicky was on, because she's a good friend of mine.
yeah.
When Vicky and Tamara were on. And yeah, because that's true. Kelly has engaged in illegal substances, and that's a known fact around Newport Beach. I actually spoke to the drug dealer who was her / realtor. So, and her brother told me. Her brother spilled all the tea to me. I had the interview on my website, allaboutthetea.com. So that, you know, but Kelly's an adult. You know, we're talking about a minor here and offering a minor drugs. What the co-stars say about each other and their accusations that are made, they always sling mud. We expect that from the adults, but for you as an adult to approach someone else's child too, it really makes me wonder what the hell's going on in your house, Braunwyn. What's going on? You got 7 kids. What is going on in that house? Bishop, sound off. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, she should be fired. And to kind of go with the whole binder thing, y'all are still unoriginal. Get your own thoughts. Like, that's Monique thing. It's going into the museum. Find something new. Come out with like a receipt of list, or like a Christmas list. Like, say this is Santa Claus list, and I'm checking it twice. Do something different. But to do the binder thing, it looks tacky because it just happened on the last reunion. That was the latest reunion. Come on now. It's trash. And even just with this whole thing with that I don't know her name, Brownie, what her name is. I don't watch the show. The Braunwyn, yeah. She needs to be canceled along with that show. Because I don't hear too many people talking about, I watch OC. No, they don't. Ain't nobody doing it. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but people I know, they ain't like, I ain't watching no OC. It needs to, and it just, to me, it's just trash all the way around.
Well, and it had the lowest ratings for the last 15 seasons this past year, which is insane, because Kelly Dodd went on to say that this was going to be an Emmy-nominated season, which obviously is not the case.
Delusional. They're so delusional. They should have never gotten rid of Vicky and Tamara. They were the staples, the foundation, the OGs that held it down. They understand reality TV. They know how to bring it. They know how to insert the drama, but in a good, clean way. What we have now, what we're witnessing here, is Bronwyn, who came out and said she was an alcoholic, and clearly it's more than just alcohol. Shannon really doesn't have a storyline. Kelly doesn't have a storyline. Kelly's not good unless she's hyped up like she was last season when she hit Shannon over the head with the bell on her head. That's when she was good and acting all crazy. That's when she's good. When she tries to act calm and sobered up, it's not good. Elizabeth Vargas, I don't know what she adds, but it's just not working. They're missing the mark. Same thing with Atlanta. This season is so boring. It is so boring. They let all the OG, Nene's gone. So the staples, the foundation, the girls that knew how to craftily insert the drama, how to create situations, they're gone.
Can we get the Real Housewives of Maine or the Real Housewives of Wyoming or Montana? I want to see what's going on up there. like honestly, shoot, I'm interested in knowing something different. Or the Real Housewives of Portland, Oregon, something. I don't want to see no more coast to coast from Atlanta to the OC. That y'all tired, done, and y'all put me to bed. Shoot, if I'm really feeling really sleepy and I just need to turn some on just to soothe me to go to sleep, I'll turn on Atlanta. I mean, because there ain't nothing going on. This is a Real Housewives of snoozer.
But I think that's what New York and New Jersey is going to be so good because, like Monica's saying, they still have their main anchors, like that foundation that started the show. I think that's why those are two still very successful franchises. And if you guys saw the trailer that just came out for Jersey, it looks great. But at the same time, like you said, Orange County has lost its OGs. Atlanta has been pretty boring because it's lost its OGs.
Now, the only way they gonna save Atlanta if they build the franchise around Portia. That I'm telling you, the only way to save, because all her friends will be relegated to her. It'll be just like New Jersey. Everyone is connected to Teresa. So if you do a show like that where the family, we like Portia family. I want to see more of Lauren and them. You know what I mean? And Mama Diane. Hey, Mama Diane. I want to see more of that. To where it's like more a family dynamic. I think they went wrong with Atlanta is that it was too many friends. It wasn't enough family. You know what I mean? It had family in it, but it was so many separate families where you have to like look around and try to find it. But if you get like someone that's is surrounded by someone, I think it'll be more better like that, like the anchor, like what Adam was saying.
I think my opinion is a little different. I honestly, y'all, just think they were the original shows. OC was first. Atlanta was second. I just think it's time to phase out those franchises. Think about just a normal television show and a sitcom. They've run 15, 16 years. That is well beyond the normal life of an average sitcom. The reality is you run out of story. Look, I like Nene, but what else was Nene gonna show? Her and Greg going through a second divorce? We've been there, done that. The time is just over for the show. I'm with Schoolboy, and like Bishop said, it is time for a Real Housewives of Boston, a Real Housewives of Chicago, a Real Housewives of Las Vegas, a Real Housewives of somewhere but Charlotte. Show us other cities, and you can start it, which is, I think, the perfect way to start how Atlanta started and how OC started. The women were already friends. It was natural friend groups. I think for Atlanta, they had Lisa Wu, and then they ran into Nene, and Nene then introduced them to Kim, Sheree, and Deshaun Snow. So they were already naturally friends. You have a natural genesis there. The problem comes when you got 2 or 3 that you're trying to hold on to, and then you keep injecting randoms and trying to force relationships to develop that don't naturally develop. So it's time for us to just retire some, put them in the Hall of Fame, maybe give some of the key members a few spinoffs or something. Give Nene, Nene probably ain't ever gonna be able to get back on Bravo, but before it got to that point, give her spinoff. And then move on and let Atlanta go and get some new cities going. I think that's really the only way they can jumpstart this thing if they want to keep Housewives going.
And to add on to that, that's why I thought Bravo chat room should have had the OGs doing it.
Oh,
not the people that's actually on the show.
Yeah, that's a bad panel.
Who are the no shade, but who are those white ladies? I don't even know who they are.
There's one's from Summer House and one's from Below Deck.
That's why I don't watch that.
Yeah. But Monica, I have a question for you. I know that you guys are talking about all of these different housewives potentially coming back, and I know that you do get a lot of this exclusive tea. So I'm curious if you've heard any chatter about the Real Housewives of Miami potentially getting a reboot, because I think that would be great if they cast it appropriately.
I heard they are coming back. That's what I've been hearing.
I heard it's going on Peacock. It's not going on Bravo.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well, Schoolboy. I heard they are coming back. There's a reboot of some sort. I don't have any more details outside of that, but I'll welcome it. They were okay. I want them to bring Larsha Pippen back on there though, so we can.
She got a nasty storyline. I would love to be.
I mean,
the people's husbands she's sleeping with. See, they bring her back on there. It'll be good.
This is why they should do a Real Housewives of Charlotte. All them side chicks. Charlotte known for being the side chick of the nation. I would love for they do a Charlotte to see how them wives handle them side chicks. That's interesting right there.
So ratchet out there. Goodness gracious.
I think it needs to go back to a new formula though. Go back to the original formula that Housewives was founded off. I want to see some rich people with some actual money, not no rich people, not rich adjacent, or I'm trying to get rich by getting on the show. No, I need you to already have the coin, be established, have generational wealth, and it's all about the Benjamins. You just throwing it out there like money ain't a thing. They've gotten lazy as hell with the production. It's real lazy. They don't care. It shows in the production. Nobody has storylines. Atlanta just needs to go. OC needs to go. If you're going to stay in California, fine. Go to San Diego. Go San Francisco.
San Francisco.
That could be good.
If you're going to stay in California. But you need to change the cities. We are tired. Just like Andy. Give us something else.
These are just like Andy.
I mean, come on.
You mean just like Andy's
Real Housewives of Seattle?
Yeah. Real
Y'all.
Housewives of Vancouver. Shoot.
I have a special guest joining us tonight. Adam, I know you have to drop off because you're going live yourself on your channel, but I have a special guest joining us. The black man that Dr. Deb called the N-word will be joining us to give his side of the story. Thank you so much for the super chats. Appreciate it. Thank you. MM says, what about the online viewership? Does it matter or only cable? I think changing production companies in Atlanta caused too much editing. They need Carlos King. They need Carlos King back. He is he started with that franchise. He understands the inner workings of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. He knows what the people want to see. And I miss Carlos King. I just miss his production. The show has not been the same since Carlos left. Adam, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
I mean, it was so nice meeting everybody. And actually, this was fun. I think it's always fun when you get people together with different opinions. And what an interesting network. I think we love it. And then there's things that we don't love about it. There's so many ups and downs, but just, wow, you did drop some major tea and you blew my mind today. I have to say that. But no, thank you for having me. And hopefully I get to chat with you guys again soon.
Absolutely. Guys, if you're not following Up and Adam, I can't imagine why you wouldn't be. Please give Up and Adam a follow, subscribe to his channel. His content is great. And he's just a great person overall. Thank you, Adam.
Hey, thank you, Monica. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Yeah, he's putting the baby to bed and he'll be joining us shortly.
I mean, can I say this? If they're gonna say the Real Housewives is such and such and they so rich, I want to see some lines being snorted. I'm sorry. I want to see the real you. Just let me see the real you a little bit. You know what I mean? Like Whitney, we see her get on the pole and doing it. She made it fun because it seemed like that's the real her. But I'm just not feeling these double lives.
Because she's comfortable in her truth, though.
Right.
Everybody's not going to be comfortable in the camera in their truth.
Well, I'm going to say, well, you can't be little scuba. I'm like, you can't get that check then. You know, there ain't no bottom with these people. So I'm like, hey, if you want the check, you got to show us everything.
You know how it is. Image is everything. You know, that people want to give a fake image to TV, but then, you know, when they get caught outside of TV and somebody get them on that camera phone, boom. Oh, that wasn't me. I don't even know. You know, everybody turning to Shaggy. It wasn't me. You know?
The women know they going to Bakersfield to get they dude Tom over there. You know you going down at the honky tonk, girl. Trying to play like you too rich to go down there.
I
I just
mean,
want to address this comment in the chat from
Oh.
Lori. She says, I'm super sad watching this live. Straight white average is not welcomed here. Effing sucks. What are you talking about? He was just here. And all I saw was nothing but positive comments in the chat. Lori, are you watching the same show we're watching? He was just here.
some people
And the greater concern is the only thing we've talked about is racism or other isms. So does straight white and average mean what racist? Like what? How did you make
Right.
that whole equivalency? Like you're telling on yourself, Lori, don't do that.
Ooh.
Yeah, what is she talking about?
your
Is
slip
that-
is
is that-
showing.
Starting stuff where there's nothing to be started.
Is that Braunwyn?
Who
Kelly
knows?
Doug,
I mean,
let me
hey,
know. Which one is
you know-
that is you? Which one?
Because I'll be the first to say I used to, unlike Monica, I loved OC. That was my foray into the Housewives franchise. I loved OC. And wasn't a black person ever. I don't even think they had none in production holding the cameras. So I watched that for years.
Oh, Monica,
and not
somebody
and
said
so
they didn't agree
and
with what
saw
I
no
said.
representation.
Lori, you don't go
I'm
time out, girl. You over here to
I'm
start
very
some
far
trouble.
from that. I don't know Tina Smith. I don't know who you are, but I'm not racist, sweetie. I have friends of all races, colors.
Mod, please put these people in time out because that's not what we're here about. This is a platform where, as Black people, we express ourselves freely. If you have a problem with that, then maybe you shouldn't be here. You know?
I mean, see, there goes the silence of trying to silence Black people. I don't like that. Just because you ain't getting your way and you don't like what we have to say,
Your
I'm
privilege
sorry.
is shown.
We live a whole different existence in this country. I'm sorry.
You're here
It
to
is what
start
it
some
is.
mess. Go someplace else with that mess, girl. 'Cause, clearly, this is a very balanced panel. We had Adam on tonight. He was great. So, what are you talking about? You know, white men are not accepted here, girl.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
A lot of people from everywhere call in the show.
Mhm.
And we've watched these shows for years and given our support with no representation.
Right.
Beverly Hills just got I'm not gonna call Garcelle a token, but just got them a Black last year.
Thank you.
New York is just getting one this year with my friend who I went to law school with, Ebony K. Williams, who I can't wait to see on that screen. Like, come on now, like, don't do that. Y'all have had the reins for years, and we're just getting a nano slice of the pie.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And you know what? And as to Bevy Smith said, watch Ebony and her Black girl magic because it's real. Why y'all hating? Because she finna get Sonia Morgan together.
Okay, y'all. Paulette, thank you so much for the super chat. Monica does her work. Yes, ma'am. I work with teacups. All right, so guys, our special guest is here, and I am so excited. So I brought this up a little while ago, and I put a pin in it, but I'm going to readdress it. So a rock solid source shared with me, like I said, that Bronwyn is an elitist and allegedly using Black Lives Matter to cover up her mother calling a Black man the N-word. I actually have that Black man joining us tonight to share his experience of racism by the hands of Bronwyn and her mother. Christopher, thank you for joining us. Christopher Keys, thank you so much.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. Christopher, introduce yourselves to the teacups.
What's up, teacups? My name is Christoph Keys. I am a daddy blogger and a real estate agent out here in Orange County. A lot of y'all saw me, I think, last year on Real Housewives of OC. And that was quite the adventure, I must say.
Absolutely.
That's a dope hat, too.
I appreciate you from the Rolling Cloud.
Let me tell y'all, this is a cool brother right here, okay? I occasionally DM him, and he's super intelligent, right? He can break down a scenario for me and give me really good perspective on things. And I love that.
I appreciate it.
Yes. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Sorry, I'm tardy at the party. Time got away from me.
That's okay. Listen, we all got lives and kids and all that stuff. You put the babies to bed and you're here.
Oh,
So
they ain't in bed yet. They still acting crazy, but they kind of simmered down a little bit.
Teacups, let me give you a little backstory. So in season 14, Bronwyn held a fashion show for her 17-year-old daughter back then.
Wait, let me fix that. I
Okay.
sponsored the fashion show for OC Fashion Week, so it's actually my and OC Fashion Week's fashion show.
Ooh.
And
It
we
was
were kind enough to let her
fashion
hop
show.
on the tail end.
Okay, correction. It was actually Christopher's fashion show. Okay, and you let Bronwyn's daughter walk in the show.
Yeah, so Kathy, who you also saw on the show, I think she supposedly hit the lady in the face with the mic, supposedly. She actually runs OC Fashion Week, and I help her out a lot. And so my real estate company, Keys Opens Doors, helps sponsor the event on the boat, and that's what you guys saw on the show. And so Bronwyn's daughter hopped on, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 days before all the stuff went down, or she hopped on 4 or 5 days before, and Kathy allowed her to hop on with the help of all the sponsors to kind of do her a solid and do her a favor, in hopes that it would be a positive experience, not only for her daughter, because she's always about trying to help, up and coming people out, but also for the brand itself. And as you saw, it didn't turn out that way.
Absolutely. So Bravo described you as a security guard. They didn't even give you the proper accolade.
Right.
And Dr. Deb was entering an unauthorized area, and you said, ma'am, you can't go this way.
Yeah, so quickly, the boat is 3 levels. So how we usually try to do it for OC Fashion Week before all the COVID stuff happened is we would do kind of like the first level would be the one of the runways plus a place to mingle and have drinks. The second level is usually where we have our models change, and we have a small section of the boat set up for people once again to get bar treats and drinks and all that stuff. And then the third level, we do another fashion show, another runway. So she was trying to get up to the second level. One, there's just too many people, and we can't just have people running around all over the place. It's unsafe. You're in a very small, confined area. And 2, she didn't want to listen. So everyone's like, you need to go these proper channels. And she just refused to do that. And the security guards were scared of her. And you're technically on my boat, so you should follow my rules. At least that's how I see it. And she thought that was the worst thing, that some guy would ask her not to go up the steps like she wasn't supposed to in the first place.
I would even go as far as saying a black man telling her.
Yeah, I mean,
she
probably.
couldn't go upstairs.
I'm not too race sensitive, so I try not to play that card unless absolutely necessary.
Right. So when you said to her, ma'am, you can't go there, didn't she almost assault you or something, or something happened? It was a physical thing that happened.
Supposedly I grabbed her so hard and I just tapped her shoulder and I was like, you can't go that way. And she pulled back. What? He grabbed me, he assaulted me. And the security guard's sitting there like, that's not what happened. And then a couple weeks later, after it came out, I guess a few months later, she supposedly said, I grabbed her so hard, I grabbed her to the floor. But everyone's there is like, that's not what happened.
And then in that altercation, she called you the N-word.
So after that, she started, I think we're on the 3rd floor, and she started another altercation. And that's when Kathy was getting into it, I think with Bronwyn, which is her daughter. So I came in to try to chill out the situation. And one of her little croonies was like, you shouldn't grab on this. This is couture. Like, what are you wearing? And then when we were walking away, I was trying to calm down Kathy. I heard me get called the N-word. She swears to this day she didn't do it, but I know what I heard.
Right. And you have no reason to lie. I mean,
it's pointless. I'm not race sensitive, so I really don't take a whole lot of offense to stereotypes or all that stuff. But if you're gonna try to say something like that to spite someone for doing when you're on their agenda, and then you're gonna come out and say all these lies, say he grabbed me, he assaulted me. Okay, well, let's just give you all the tea about it, give you all the smoke. You said some bullshit, so excuse my language.
Right. Well, I interviewed Christopher back in October 2019, and I urge everyone, I'll link it down below to the article. And you got pretty detailed, and she jumped on me. Bravo immediately emailed me, the producer over there, and said, it's not true. Take it down. It's not true. She was all over on my social media trolling me, calling me all kinds of names and saying,
I'm sure she went crazy. I mean, she was going crazy with Kathy. Once again, Kathy is the director of OC Fashion Week, and she had 10 or 15, 20 pages trolling people and going crazy and trying to back her up. But out of literally thousands of messages I got, nobody was supporting her because, I don't remember what that adage is, but they say, people don't remember what you did or who you are, but they always remember how they make you feel.
Yeah.
Literally thousands of messages, and I still get some every so often about people saying, "Oh, she did this. Her and her daughter did this. This is how my interaction with them," and it's like a lot of stuff. And it seems like she only attacks a certain, sector or group of people as opposed to just anybody.
Well, there are tweets out there that exist of her calling Black people and Latino people names. And when you ask her about it, she flips out. And just for those in the chat that don't know, Dr. Deb is a criminal. She was caught stealing in Mexico.
Yeah.
I got the CC footage of it, and I wrote an article, and I actually spoke to the Mexican merchant. And, she had agreed to come on and do an interview with me, but then she got kind of scared and said her lawyers were involved and she didn't want to but she gave me quotes and she told me what happened. And I have screenshots of Dr. Deb in the store. See, that's the back of her.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. This was in Mexico and she was stealing from a merchant. These merchants are not rich in a small town in Mexico. When she was caught, because the merchant called the police, they went to her hotel. She begged them not to press charges, that she would pay for the clothing that she stole. And she had a very white privilege attitude about it. What are your thoughts on that? And what are your thoughts on Braunwyn and her husband trying to be the face of Black Lives Matter?
I don't even know what to think about that. It's just like, once again, I don't really have a whole lot of opinions. I think your character speaks for itself. And if you obviously always do things contradictory to what your character shows, it's obviously for publicity stunt. And it seems, if you have to go and fight, if you have to go and fight to try to prove that you're an activist and you do it for the gram or you do it for publicity stunts, it's full of crap. It's baseless, I guess, is the proper word.
Those are my thoughts exactly too. It just seemed very calculated and for to prove that they weren't racist, because she didn't defend you, Bronwyn, did she? When her mother,
no, not at all.
Didn't she call you a clout chaser or something of that nature, an opportunist or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's. I think it was her. Someone sent me something that's saying I was looking for my 15 minutes of fame.
Wow.
Which obviously I don't really need, but I'm gonna do what I do regardless of who knows or who sees me.
I won't keep you because I know you have a family and it's like bedtime there. But Christopher, thank you so much for joining us tonight and sharing your
time. Sorry I was tardy to the party. I always appreciate you thinking about me and accepting my perspective on things.
Absolutely. You were right on time, by the way. You weren't.
Oh, cool.
All right. Well, let me just see really fast if the panel has any questions for you really quick. Hey, guys, do you have any questions for Christopher? Are they on mute?
No.
I think so.
Bishop?
Did you get a creepy vibe from her?
Oh, man. So, okay. So, after all this happened, come to find out, her granddaughter and my kid went to the same private school in Laguna Beach. So I actually ran into her quite frequently because she would take her kids there. Now, I don't think I'm very intimidating, but supposedly I can be. So every time I saw her, she would never make eye contact with me. She would always, either turn and walk the other way or look down and kind of walk by. And that went on for, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 months, because I would see her at least once a week, dropping her kids off or picking them up. And then one time I came to pick up my kid and they had like an art show and I had just shown a house from one of my listings. So I was all dressed up. And her last thing, which I presume would be her concession speech of giving up on the BS, was, "Wow, you look very handsome today. Have a wonderful evening." I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. We've been dealing with this crap for 6, 7, 8 months, and all of a sudden you want to give me a nice compliment? Okay, whatever. And then after that, it kind of all her little trolls stopped, and never heard from her again. And then All About Tea sent me that article about her stealing in Mexico, and I'm like, oh, great, what else is there? And it just seems like every month, things just keep unraveling.
That's crazy.
It is what it is. Like, like I
Boy,
said,
chime in. Do you have any questions for Christopher?
like I said,
I
I think
don't
the
have any
character.
questions. I don't have any questions, Christopher. I just want to thank you for sharing your story and giving your perspective, and for always being like a level-headed, fair person and a great representative for yourself and your family mostly, but
appreciate
also
that.
for Black men, because a lot of times we do have to do the work and stand up to people who refuse to acknowledge us when we worked hard to get somewhere.
Yeah.
You've done the work for you and your family, and it shows through and through. So
I
I'm
appreciate
glad
it.
that you
Thank you.
allowed your character to speak for you.
I try because I try. And I'm not. I don't think I'm very level-headed. I'm quick 0 to 100 real quick. But you know, being out here, and especially when you have people looking at you, I really got to try hard to try to stay, like you said, level-headed, but also keep a positive outlook on things. Because I mean, it is a small bunch of people. You think it seems like with media, it's way worse than it is. I don't personally feel it's as bad, at least in California, as it is in other parts of the country and other parts of the world.
It's true. It's true.
So I got to try to make sure I represent as best as I can, because it is definitely a continuous fight to be recognized for who we are as a Black people.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cool boy. Do you have any comments or questions for Christopher?
I respect his level-headedness because I don't know if I could have been that nice. I don't know if I could have been that nice. I mean, you know, and being a person like me, I was born and raised in Arizona. Then I lived in Maryland for 6 years, and then I've lived Texas 10 years.
Yeah.
So my perspective on race and racism as a whole, when I first experienced it here in Texas, because I had never experienced that before, was an eye-opener for me. So
Right.
I totally understand where you're coming from. And it's hard to hold your tongue in those moments, because you just don't know. It's literally, you feel like you get small because it's you against them, and you know anything that they can say can make you look like you are the bad person. So I appreciate you for being a Black man that made it out of that situation,
Yeah.
because it could have totally went left.
100%.
It could have went left.
And I try to always like think about all the outcomes as quickly as possible to figure out, okay, if I'm going to snap and go crazy on you, what's the best way to spin out of this? Because this can be, you know, misconstrued in so many ways. And I say this always, don't take this with a grain of salt, or don't take it as bad as I'm going to say it. It's very ironic that I'm so pro-Black and married a white chick, but with that, it's helped me be more level-headed and see how different people think in different stages of their life, to try to react to things in the best positive way possible. And my grandparents had a house in what they call it, Natchitoches, Louisiana, and I would go out there every summer and sometimes in the winters. So I got to see out there racism firsthand. And it was kind of cool because they pretty much, between like 18, 19 cousins and uncles and stuff, they pretty much bought a whole town. And that wasn't very popular out there, you know, and even then, if you go out there now, it's still pretty racist. But that, having those experiences at 9, 10, 11 years old really taught me how to see how small-minded people are and try to always rise above it. And my mom was always about, just because you're Black, you got to be 10 steps ahead. You can be smarter, but you have to act smarter. You have to do better, and you can't come to their level. So I really always try to think of that stuff, if that makes any sense.
That makes total sense. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, again, brother, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Being candid, telling your story, and standing up for what's right.
Yeah, it's a lot of BS out there. So I just try to, once again, show positivity.
Absolutely. Stay safe out there, and God
Yes,
bless.
ma'am. I appreciate y'all. Hope to see y'all soon.
I'll see you soon, man.
All right, yeah. All right, Bishop.
All right, man. Peace, man.
That was so nice of him.
He's a cool dude.
Absolutely. So I want to share my screen with you guys, because I want to show you this article that you can see my screen.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make it bigger. You can see it there. So that's the interview here with Christopher, and he goes into detail, gave me a lot of quotes, and y'all can go read it. I'll link it down below. But I wanted to share with you this article, this exclusive of Braunwyn's mother when she was caught stealing in Mexico. He was caught stealing in Mexico. Here I have the screenshots of the camera. Like I said, I spoke to the Mexican merchant, and when the police went to her house, well, the hotel she was staying at, her Airbnb, she begged them not to arrest her and said she would pay for the stuff that she stole. Yeah, here she is in Mexico's timelines matched up totally. I am going to link this article down below as well, but I found that to be, she has money. She's a doctor. Why would you be stealing from merchants in Mexico? That just lends to the type of privilege that, those people sit in, and it's sad. It really, really is sad.
Mm-hmm. They go Christopher Columbus and everything, child.
Indeed. Why don't we take a few calls before we head out of here? I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Y'all be so fast.
Your chat room off the hook today.
I appreciate it. Hold it down.
Mm-hmm. Some of them in their feelings.
Oh Lord,
and they feel like Drake.
Yeah, they get mad at the brother talking about he can't be pro-black, married to a white woman. Well, then if that's the case, then some of these white WS can't be no WSs. They married to a black woman. So what does that mean? It's crazy.
Love who you love. Shit, I don't.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. That's how goofy the statements are being made. Like,
love is love. There's all kinds of people that you identify with that person's energy, their soul.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, love should be colorblind, but we live in a society.
Aren't we all part of the human race?
We're supposed to be. I would hope so.
Hey. Hi, guys.
Monique.
Wow, Monica, I feel like I ran a marathon. That was too much.
It was a lot. I told you guys to grab your wine and, sit down. It's a lot.
I have I would really want to know when Shannon knew, but I'm assuming she knew at least a minute before the reunion, since they brought it up at the reunion, right? I wouldn't go to the reunion if that person is there. As a mother, as much as what Bronwyn did is horrible, but she failed as a mom. I don't want to be on stage with someone like that. I will call the cops and I will call her dad. If she knew a minute before, which I highly doubt, which it would be interesting to know when exactly Shannon, I'm really having a problem with this, because Shannon, she is the biggest advocate of her children. That's my biggest fear as a mom. My kids, they get to interact with people that are bad influences, which I'm going to assume, allegedly, we're going to say that Bronwyn is that. So this is why it's important for me to know. And Shannon, she's on her kids' business all the time. I could not stomach looking at someone that offered drugs to my daughter. Period. I wouldn't go on the show. And this is again, you guys are so sweethearted, Bravo will do nothing. How many times did they show us who they really are so that we believe them? They fire people depending on their on the ratings, on what they're bringing to the show, because this is the thing for Bravo to reinvent itself and has a reckoning. They should have a clear set of rules that if anybody bypasses those or crosses them, they are out, no matter Candace, no matter Stassi, all of them. I'm sorry. It's really so hypocritical, and I'm so disappointed with them. I really am, because that was my favorite pastime, and now I feel dirty watching them. This is crazy for Bronwyn to have offered drugs. So I wonder if she wasn't drunk when she did that. I'm not giving her excuses, but for me, as Shannon, as a mom, she should have taken initiative as soon as she knew, before the reunion, and not have filmed. She should have said out, because you guys remember Luann, she didn't appear in the reunion, and that was a last minute decision because she went to rehab. So yeah, it's okay for Braunwyn not to be on the show, but she needs to have receipts, because that is big. And I am worried, and I'm being devil's advocate, that maybe they staged this, or they knew it's all true and they said, oh, let's use it for the show, for the reunion.
I highly doubt they would stage anything like this. I was told no one knew. Andy didn't know. Her co-stars didn't know. And this was going to be her big aha bombshell moment of the reunion. That's what I was told.
See, that Shannon, this is bad for Shannon. Like, this is horrible. She should not have used this for the reunion. It's her child. She should have called the cops and called the David Beador.
You right about not going to that reunion, because I would have made sure, some of the gals allegedly, if I hired from down the street, I would have definitely made sure when she went to that reunion that no makeup can cover up what happened to her. I would have made sure of that. Just saying.
Exactly. Totally. This is too messed up from both of them, from everybody. And oh my God, I can't imagine, like, she always like tries to portray herself like she's the best mother on earth. Like, you failed your daughter. I don't care for a minute. You failed your daughter. You should have not been.
There's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of money on the line with her job, $1 million. I get it, but come on, seriously.
Talk about she's rich. Supposedly she's rich.
And to me, she misused her bargaining chip. That's the perfect bargaining chip to get somebody you don't want to deal with off the show. I would have played my hand before the reunion and made that my demand, that I be allowed and that Braunwyn be fired on the spot and not be allowed to be on the show. If you're gonna play hard, but don't hold it and then try to throw it out at once. It just doesn't. It does seem like Monica said before, you're putting the show before your child.
Exactly.
But we don't know if she did that. Now, we all know Bravo could be a little unethical. They protect certain people. For instance, they kept Kelly Dodd. They didn't fire her after all of her Black Lives Matter comments. So who knows if she went to production, not Andy Coleman, but production, and they said, let's keep this quiet. I know for a fact, I'm not going to name the lady's name over at Bravo, and she works for Bravo NBC. She's not in the production company. She protects them. Monica, can you please not publish this? If I send her something, I got this tea. It's pretty explosive. I did it one time. I learned the hard way years ago. There was a story about Tamara Judd a long time ago, and it wasn't a big story. And hello, I make my money by publishing stories, and you come to my website, I make money that way. That's how I feed my family, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I sent it to I was going to say the lady's name. So I sent it to the producer, and I said, I got this tea. I don't know if it's true. And apparently another blogger got the same tea, and it turned out to be true. But I was kind of like I was new in the game, and I was trying to be, diplomatic. She begged me not to publish it. I didn't. And Bravo has never really done anything in terms of putting money in my pocket per se directly. And then when this other blogger published it, they made all the money off the story. And I was like, look at you know what? It taught me a lesson. It taught me a lesson. Yeah.
Why would you have their backs when they always, like, when you say something, they email you and say, please don't do this. Like, just the fact that they have Kelly Dodd on the show still, and she has like a seat and a very central role in all the show. They didn't edit her out. Like, they edited out a guy from Below Deck because he posted something racist. They edited him out, and the season was right on, like it was on blast. So it was really last minute. And Kelly Dodd, everything that she said, and they still kept her on. Like, this is where the double standard and it's like drives me nuts. It drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is a bit much. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is a heavy topic tonight, guys.
You know,
Was
Monica,
heavy, yeah.
I love how people try to say, "Oh, Bishop using verbiage of violence." Well, let that happen to your child.
What are you talking about? That's just how he communicates. I communicate the same way.
Right.
Maybe it's a cultural thing. I don't know.
But even then, like, I don't resort to violence all the time. I can count the times I've been in fights. It's not that many, but when it's time to put down the pen and pick up the sword, that's when it's time to do it. I don't get all these people all of a sudden like, oh, that is so wrong. No, yeah, right.
They must be new to the channel.
New to life, you mean?
That could be it too. Oh my God.
People don't walk around wanting to beat up people. I mean, you know, but if you force my hand and you take me there and I'm protecting something that I love close to me, you mess with anything I love, it's on. All that go out the window.
Yeah, and everybody has to make space for different people's different personalities. This was the whole thing with the whole Candace Monique fight. Like, I don't know where y'all come from. I'm not a violent person. I probably would not have fought her, but some people will fight. And we just have to learn that. That's why you have to really watch your actions. I wouldn't fight Shannon. I would press charges and wouldn't let up off the gas. Wouldn't be no dropping. I don't care what Bravo said. I would make sure she got prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And then I would have went to Bravo and be like, if y'all reprimand her, I'm suing y'all too. See, I believe in a good pen and paper and paperwork. I would whip you through court, all up and down. And been in these streets all over the internet slanging your name through the mud. Everybody would have known if it was my child.
Oh yeah.
And this where me and players come in at. It's either the police gonna be there first or it's gonna be me there first. So the police better be quicker than me. I'm just saying, be quicker than me.
Yeah.
I mean, if they
probably have to slap her just one good time.
Exactly.
Well, you're a woman. You can do that. Going.
Now, be clear. If the police didn't do what I felt they needed to do, now I might be on Bishop's path. Because my mama always told me in school, if the kid is bothering you, go tell the teacher. Did the teacher don't do nothing, you wear them out.
Yeah,
I know you from Louisiana. You said wear out. My mama said that all the time. You said, not Louisiana, but the South. Wear them out, baby. Wear.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go the proper authority channels at first. But if those authority channels don't get me my justice,
That's the American way. Hey, if it don't work with the pen,
absolutely.
So Monica, you have no idea when Shannon discovered this, when her daughter told
I don't know that part of it. Hopefully the reunion can add some clarity to it. You know,
I have a feeling.
Remember where you heard it first. Remember where you heard it first, you know?
Oh, of course. Oh,
yeah.
I'm here. All my oven mitts are ashes right now.
Maureen, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Bye, guys. Love your
Bye.
hat, Bishop. Love it.
Hey, my love, Shanitra. Hi.
Hey, Shanitra.
Oh yeah, this my down south boo. Come on, wait.
Oh, where's she going?
Let's go.
Clicked out.
what happened?
Shanitra.
She went bye-bye.
Buying that StreamYard
Here she
spirit.
go. Here she go. Here go my baby, Shanitra. Hey.
Hey,
Y'all,
how you
how
doing?
y'all doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good. Miss Players with the lipstick lady.
I know. Don't she look good? She is so pretty with them dimples
She
in
bad
her.
tonight. She bad tonight, y'all. I'm telling you. Listen, I enjoyed that story, Monica. I was into that one. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of it. Because realistically speaking, if it's true, there's no way that nothing can be done because that's a whole crime. So we're going to see whether it's true, whether she blowing smoke, or whether, this is some more of the D class and a Bravo. Because I think we've been watching for the last maybe 4 or 5 years or so, the D class and a Bravo.
Yeah.
Watching. It's like, Schoolboy, wasn't that you, baby, that said they ain't got no bottom to how low they'll go?
No, ma'am. And it's like love and hip hop over there now, ain't it? Really VH1-esque.
Yeah. And it's coming off like a tacky love in hip hop because it's not even authentic. It's just people just trying to do trash for trash sake, just for ratings, for whatever. We ain't even gonna talk about skin your snore. You know what I'm saying? Like they do it so bad, and it's gotten to where it's like it's like they're competing for the new low. And I'm trying to figure out, where does it stop? Now we bringing in booger sugar and the babies. Now this is a bit much.
It is. I mean, this is some serious scalding hot, shocking. Did I lie when I told y'all it was shocking tea?
You didn't lie. You delivered.
You didn't lie.
Definitely didn't lie.
But I'm gonna say something else that I don't know. There ain't nobody hit on, but it just occurred to me. Right? I feel like this is a case too with us watching Bravo being declassed. This is a case of art imitating life. Okay. Right now, America's slip is showing.
That's
and now
true.
Bravo is imitating life. We're seeing the most brazen bull crap and buffoonery.
Yeah.
And it's just like what's happening in the country. And players, you said it best, honey. We need to stand. They say stand by and stand back. I say get you a piece of chicken and a biscuit and mind your business. Because this ain't got nothing to do with us.
It showed no. That's what you said.
Piece from Popeye's child.
That's what I'm talking about. Or better still, if you don't get Popeyes, get a piece of Big Mama's chicken smothered in 30-weight gravy. Get you some white rice and some light bread.
Oh, you starting my type of jam.
Exactly. I got me a pork chop sandwich over here.
See, players, we here.
Pork chop
that's all I'm
sandwich.
saying. What's going on? What we seeing with Bravo, like the crap Andy got caught doing to Monique, the stuff that we seeing play out, you know, with this situation. Because let's be honest, this mess is scorching hot, whether they telling the truth on the lady or not. It's hot like fire if she did it, and it's hot like fire if she didn't, and the lady's telling a lie that big on her. Either way, that's a whole new kind of low.
Oh yeah.
And who brought the binder again, Monica?
Shannon,
the lawyer, Emily had the binder.
Oh, Emily.
She's a loser. You're copying. Be original.
Bishop,
Loser.
you said that. You was right too. It's so sad, but again, art imitating life.
Yeah.
There we go. Another case of the sticky fingers. First, we got one up stealing in Potomac. Now you got this stuff over here stealing in California. I'm tired of the thieves.
I know.
What they say, you know, everybody want to until it's time to be a.
They want all your rhythm and none of your blues, baby. And that's what's really going on.
They done Cadillac card the binder down to the housewives, baby.
Yes, they have. And that's why I said it's so tacky and inauthentic, because you got, you know, women who really are not, you know, living those kind of lives, but they're trying to be ratchet. You know, if I can borrow that from the children. They're trying to be ratchets.
Yeah.
Because they see it's working on VH1. It's working on the internet. It goes viral when people are ratchet. So now here we go. Now we're going to throw some blonde hair and blue eyes on the ratchet and turn it loose.
Absolutely. Now it'll be really interesting, Shanitra, to see what Bravo's next move is, because they fired Phaedra in a blink of an eye.
They did.
Phaedra was fired before she got back to the dressing room.
Right.
That's true. But I'm gonna tell you something with that. That whole story was fishy to me. And it's still fishy. Nothing is ever what it seems. Smoke and mirrors is always smoke and mirrors. And you're never gonna tell me it's not. First of all, she wasn't the first person to tell a lie on that show. Now let's really call a thing a thing. The next thing was Portia and Phaedra didn't go around spreading that. Portia said that to Candy. Candy went around spreading that to everybody. So why did Phaedra need to lose her job? Because Candy went around telling everybody that. And then talking about her brand. Baby, if your brand was that, you wouldn't have been running around telling everybody. Because when Portia first told her, if you all recall, the Billy Goat was laughing. She started laughing. She didn't start crying until she went home, talked about it with Todd, then she came back and went to holler.
You know what it was? You know what it was? It was a message she was getting Bill Cosby. See, it didn't turn real until it got associated with Bill Cosby. But if it was no association, if we rewinded a few years, if that would have happened maybe like the first 2 seasons of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, then it wouldn't have been as a big deal.
You know
until we
what?
got to the Me Too era.
That's one way to look at it, but you know what I saw? I felt like that was her time to, in her mind, to get Portia. And she
Mm-hmm.
went after Portia with all guns blazing. And when she found out it wasn't Portia, she didn't have all that smoke for Phaedra. She just wanted Phaedra gone. And I
Mm-hmm.
found that real funny. That was your bestie. Why you needed her gone? You didn't want to attack and run after her like you ran after Portia. You weren't
Mm-hmm.
trying to get Portia fired. You were just attacking Portia, doing the gang up, getting you alliances. So I said to myself, and myself said, So you were scared to go after Phaedra because Phaedra know all your dirt. You'll rather have Phaedra gone because you know if you shoot it at Sister Phaedra Parks, everybody knows Phaedra Parks gonna shoot back, and she ain't got no blanks. She know your dirt. Y'all did dirt together.
Mm-hmm.
But I
That's why
think
she
that's
keeps saying, "If you bring her back, I'ma leave you."
Yeah, but I think it goes back to what I said earlier. Shannon just is not using her weight, or either she doesn't feel like she has the weight. Because
Right.
I can almost guarantee you, if she pressed hard enough for Bronwyn to be gone instead of holding this for whatever reason, I think they would make the right decision. Just like Candy. Candy was very clear and very unapologetic. If you want her here, I will not be here. And Bravo made their choice. So that's
But
what Shannon should have done as
And
well.
but
she was
players,
well
don't
liked
you
too.
do
She
you
was
think
well
do you
liked, and
think a
Candy
little
had
bit?
that weight. Candy had
But
Exactly.
that
this
weight.
is the thing. But now ask yourself, why did Candy have that weight? Did Candy have that
Hmm.
weight because of all that mess that went on with Kim and stealing that song? And Bravo felt like they really could have been in the line for some lawsuits, and because Candy didn't do it, it was a little bit of this for a little bit of that.
Now I don't.
Maybe Miss Shannon ain't got no leverage. Candy had that leverage. If Candy
Now
She
I
didn't
had
don't
have
know
that
if
leverage.
it's
leverage,
true. I
she
heard the
could have
first
cried
couple
like a billy
seasons.
goat for 10 weeks. Phaedra would have still been there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's true. They need to. That's why that show has sank to the bottom of the floor. Because whether you like Phaedra or not, she had the reads. She was
She did.
quick-witted with them. They were funny. Her confessionals, child, was everything. And
Fix
I
it,
didn't even
Jesus.
like Phaedra back, and I used to call her
I didn't even.
Flora until she was
Mhm.
gone. And I'm like, dang, this show is not the same. It's
Yep.
not the same.
Yep.
And I like her sociopath unfazed looks, even though it's crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
loved it that season 9 reunion. She was still unfazed, even when it got real. She's like, I didn't mean to do it. I was like, dang, girl, you is not budging. I loved it.
Yeah.
She's a
Phaedra was
lawyer.
very
They lie for a
entertaining.
living. I mean,
Hold
I
on
mean,
now.
I mean,
No.
not. I'm not saying, but I mean, she's probably gotten off some people that did some real dirt. I mean, come on, her association with the Apollo mess. But then they also don't want to bring her back because if they bring Apollo has already said he's shooting guns at Todd because he got dirt
I'm here for
on
it.
him. So
I'm here. I'm here for it.
And
you know
that's
what I'm
the
saying?
thing.
So
And that's what
they
they need
trying
to
to
bring back.
pacify Candy, but what is Candy bringing though?
But the thing
Candy
is,
can go to bed.
if Candy has the leverage that I think she has due to that whole copyright mess with that song, Bravo is not trying to open that can of worms. That's what's holding it back. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I feel like Bravo prefers manufactured storylines. They don't want nothing happening organically no more. Ain't no reality in reality TV no more. If they bring him on there and he start airing Todd out and Phaedra start airing Candy out, then we'll have a show.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll have a show,
Absolutely.
and then Kenya won't have to run around here pretending like she like girls.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think
Where
she pretended though.
Where's
Oh.
I
Carlos
don't know.
King at?
I just see it differently because I thought Phaedra was very manufactured as well. From day one, lying
Phaedra,
about
yeah,
how long she was pregnant. Girl, you are grown. You are almost 40. We know you was sleeping with that man before you
right.
got married. Tell
That
your
part.
mama the truth. You
But
too
that's
But
old
the
to still
thing.
be lying
Phaedra
and trying
was
to act like you a little sweet church girl. Cause you
right.
ain't. Cause guess what? Sweet church girls don't know strippers who suck their own thing.
But I'm just
Girl,
saying
Now
bye.
that's but
the
hold
juxtaposition.
on now, players. Wait a minute. I go to church every Sunday and I know a couple dirty things too. But now I'm gonna just tell you this. Phaedra was phony.
that's the
Phaedra,
black church.
Phaedra was
Oh yeah.
always phony.
Yeah.
But Phaedra was phony, but Phaedra was entertaining. And if her and Candy get into some authentic organic beef, that's gonna be authentic and organic. All fake and all, it's gonna be organic. And she gonna be shooting some organic bullets
Mm-hmm.
at Candy. And they don't want reality TV no more. When they started, it was very real, very raw, and you could tell because they clothes and they wigs showed it. But
Mm-hmm.
as the time went on, it became more and more manufactured. They started bringing in people like y'all was saying that were not a part of the friend group, just random people plugging them in. Let's see what happened, and then they were basically putting batteries in people's backs and letting them go. and they don't want no
Right.
academic stuff on TV no more.
But I'm just saying, if Phaedra come back, I'm gonna need Apollo and his girlfriend and Angela Stanton. I want everybody.
I want the whole
I don't want
package.
Angela. I don't want Angela.
I want her. I'm sorry. We need a black conservative Republican to come up through there and destroy some of that stuff a little bit.
That ain't what I want her for. I want her for her dirt on Phaedra. If we throwing dirt on Candy, I want dirt on Phaedra. I want to know what she knew about Apollo's alleged credit card schemes.
But this the thing with Angela. My issue with Angela is only one thing. Now, Phaedra and Apollo don't like each other, and that's clear, right? Apollo actually did an interview and said openly that Angela don't even know the stuff she claiming to know. She not even telling the truth on Phaedra. She lying. So I don't see Apollo taking up for Phaedra at all, especially with him running around to anybody who will listen to everybody's platform saying she won't let him see his children. I feel like Angela is slightly fraudulent. And I want somebody who really knows some dirt on Phaedra to come on. I know a couple people, but I don't think it's her.
Okay.
I think it was her, but I think it was her. I want her on the show. And Phaedra was just so over the top with the lies, like you said, sucking D in the pulpits, but she was, a church lady. It's just so ridiculous that's good TV.
Foolish.
It was just totally foolishness. But it made you laugh because it was so damn stupid and you knew it was a lie. So when you literally relax and just watch it from that comedic perspective, it's good TV. It makes for good TV.
It was. And right now they don't have anybody like Marlo is funny, but Marlo takes shots here and there. Portia's funny when she's being bubbly and fun, but you got, Miss Sonora chasing her around, throwing rocks at her. Like it's just right now the show is not cohesive. You got like all these separate people who seem to have nothing to do with each other. There's just occasional insults and slams and attacking people's wigs by other people with bad wigs. It's just, I'm like, what is this?
The show is social distancing, basically. The storyline is social distancing.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense, and it's just like what's going on in America right now. It ain't making no sense. It ain't making no sense. But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, they need to get rid of some of these people. And I'm sorry if Bravo, I'm like, Candy, you too comfortable. We're bringing Phaedra, whether you like it or not. If you gone, bye-bye. No more advertisement for your businesses. You might as well start closing down these restaurants because ain't nobody gonna know nothing about them anymore. But anyways, we're gonna move on. We're gonna go over to Kenya. Kenya, you need to really get some real beefs going, not these fake little ones you're throwing shots at Portia, because it's not making any sense, and you're looking tired. You look like a tired villain. You like some villains like they ran out of steam and they trying to find something, and it's like, I'm gonna get you later, E-Man. It's like, girl, please, you boring. Sit elsewhere with your fake.
She boring, and apparently she cheap because Don Juan say she ain't donate no money to Candy charity. That's what Don Juan said. I didn't
she ain't
say
got no
Don
money.
Juan said it.
Oh, yeah,
all the money went to the pool.
Don Juan say that she was up there buying them ice sculptures for that that silly party, but she didn't drop off not one quarter for the charity.
Well, she walked around with fake Birkin, so I mean, I clocked one of her bags right on the show. I said, "Oh, that's a fake Birkin." Okay.
Yeah, it was a Merkin.
It was a Merkin,
but it wasn't working.
Wow. Really?
I do want to say, though, I think this is another instance that they always used to talk about of Candy letting her employees overstep their bounds. Now, if Candy said on the show that she wasn't going to throw anybody under the bus, if we're talking fair, she should not have let Don Juan get on YouTube on whatever her show is, throwing somebody under the bus. With that being said, Kenya, everybody's pockets ain't the same. But Kenya should have given 500, 1,000, whatever she could have given. Look, it was COVID. She did just spend all her money on the chill engagement party. Bravo didn't pay for that.
And
she had to pay for it. So who knew if she had the funds to turn right back around and give to Candace charity? But I feel she should have done it. But furthermore, Don Juan should have kept his mouth closed.
Amen.
He always say stuff that he shouldn't be saying. Sir, you are the help.
But you know what?
Get
Though,
in your
Chris,
place. Children are to be
Candy,
seen and not heard. You always inserting yourself in stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. Ugh.
Is that
But
play?
Get on
but
my
you know what
nerves.
though, players? Candy gives them room to do that. Candy
I
always
know.
lets him do that.
Oh yeah. No, he's
And
his
you know,
mouthpiece.
that's
That's
I
true.
true.
know.
And what I was about to say, I feel like he said it because Candy didn't want to say it, so she let him say it so she could say, "Ooh, Don Juan said that." See, when she was doing that with Portia, Portia knew that, hey, these people coming after me for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Can
hope
we
that she,
address this tomorrow on tomorrow's live,
my
y'all?
bad, y'all.
Oh,
My
sorry.
To talk about. I wanted to go over this tomorrow, and Wendy
Oh, I'm
Williams'
sorry.
brother outing her, saying she didn't go to the funeral, and she's spending time with her ex-husband in Florida. We're gonna
Yes.
get into
Yeah,
that
we need to talk about that. We need to talk
tomorrow.
about that.
Tomorrow's live.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
We're gonna leave
sickening
that
too.
alone. But I'm interested to see if this lady go to jail for trying to mess up somebody's child. Like that's
They
really
might
not
get
cool.
organic food while they're in there.
Yep.
Shoot, we can't get none.
And if it is a lie, I feel like the lady who's telling it, if it's not true, I feel like she should face some repercussions too. Amen, Bishop. Fix it, Lord.
Yeah. Girl, I'm gonna call you later, child, because
All right, girl.
Bishop doing the old Bishop doing the old taglines. Now, Bishop, you got me thinking about my friend Dwight. How dreadful.
A fashion show with no fashions.
the
How
white.
dreadful.
I'm sorry, that dude was funny when it came to just being classy shade.
I love Dwight.
I did too. Y'all, we're gonna wrap up tonight's live. This was a lot. It was heavy. If you came into the live late, I urge you to watch the video from the beginning because we covered a lot, and I gave a lot more detail as to this very shocking incident that occurred at the Real Housewives of Orange County reunion. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Schoolboy, where can they find you?
Oh Lord. At school_boy on YouTube and Twitter, and on Instagram, school_boy_2021. And you'll find me in all my antics. And yeah, I need to go home. I said I need to go home. I am home. I need to go meditate. This got my spirit messed up.
Get you some lavender oil and take you a good shower.
Have a good night, honey. Bishop, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube at The Bishop. You can also find me on IG and Twitter at Bishop Red Pill. And you can come check me out.
Sounds good. Plus, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram. It's scared_of_beautiful. And on YouTube, just scared of beautiful spaces, no periods. And content should be loading soon.
Very good. Can't wait. Teacups, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button down below. If you're already subscribed to the channel, bang that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the piping hot tea that we serve on this channel. And while you're at it, hit that like button. Teacups, thank you for tuning in tonight. I love you all. Mods, thank you for holding down the chat. Everyone that sent in a super chat or a cash app, thank you so much. We appreciate you. It helps keep the lights on. I want y'all to stay safe out there and be blessed. Have a good evening. Go meditate. Go finish that bottle of wine. And we'll be back here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Same time, same place. Bye, y'all. Bye.